What's up, Jersey Beast TV, your source for men's muscle building, fat loss, and strength training information. In this video, we're going to cover the topic of how to get stronger. Okay, this is a topic that a lot of guys are interested in, especially guys who've been hitting the gym and not getting the results that they want. They're doing the same workouts over and over and over again, can't seem to figure out why their bench press isn't increasing, why their squats are not increasing, why their deadlifts are not increasing, why they're stuck at the same weight. Why they can't put on muscle mass, right? So we're going to cover a few of these things in this video today. So when you're looking to get stronger, there's two main approaches that I take in my own personal training of myself, okay? One is obviously lift heavy weights. A lot of people know that one, right? You hear heavy weights make you stronger. The second, though, which goes a little unnoticed, is high volume training, okay? Guys are under the impression that lots of sets and reps do not make you stronger. In my experience, guys that I talk to, right, tend to think that it's only for muscle building, right? High volume sets is only for muscle building, which is partially true, okay? But again, going back to my own experience, I have training logs that have date back to, 15 years ago. And over time, when you start to notice and you start to track your progress, which you should do, and if you're not doing, I recommend either tracking your progress in an app or tracking it in a marble pad or a notepad or something, right? Some way to see how you're progressing. If you're not doing that, that's a reason in itself why you're probably not getting stronger. All right, so get your tracking down. All right, I'm old school. I use a marble pad, right? I write it down, write my numbers down, my lifts, how I felt that day. The more you track, the better off you're going to be. So when you revert back to that workout and you go to do it again, you're going to see that there's some sort of pattern there. So over the course of, however long I've been training, you tend to start to see patterns in your lifting, and when your strength increases and when it doesn't. Okay, and when I used to just lift heavy, strictly heavy, I had a much tougher time increasing the weight on the bar in the gym. All right, so I had a much tougher time increasing the weight on the bar, and I also felt like I got injured more. My joints hurt more. Okay, I could lift 3, 4, 5 days a week, but after a few weeks of lifting heavy, my joints would start to hurt. My knees would hurt. My elbows would hurt. My shoulders would hurt. Okay, so what I started to do was on my own. I started to take a different approach to getting stronger. So I still did my heavy lifting days, right? But I also started to do high volume days. High volume days. What do I mean by that? So basically, I'm talking about more reps, less sets, right? So instead of doing a 5x5 or a 5x7, so 5 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 7, I would do maybe 3 or 4 sets of 15 reps, lower the weight quite a bit, and focus on form. Lift as much weight as I could for that amount of reps, right? So obviously, if your one rep max for bench press is 300 pounds, you're not doing 4 sets of 300 pounds for 15 reps, right? It's just not going to work. So adjust the weight accordingly. Focus on contraction. Focus on pushing yourself in the gym. And you will see high volume will actually go hand in hand with your heavy lifting days and get you stronger. All right? So the way that I approach high volume and heavy lifting is I cycle through. So like over the course of about 3 weeks. So let's, for example, bench day. So this week was a heavy bench week for me, right? So I did 5 sets of 5 on my first lift, and then my assistance lifts I did, 4 sets of 8 to 10, something like that. Now, next week when I do my bench again, I will increase the volume, decrease the sets. So I'll do 4 sets of maybe 8 to 10 or 4 sets of 10 to 12. All right, and then the third week, week 3, which would be 2 weeks from this week, I'll take a much higher volume approach and focus on about 15 or 20 reps and lower the weight drastically. All right. Now, I've been doing this for a few months, and every time I go back to that heavy week on the 4th week, my weights jump. The weight on the bar increases drastically. For example, I know you guys are not going to believe me, but 3 weeks ago on my heavy bench day, right, I did, on my last set, I was supposed to shoot for 5, and I did 4 reps at 300 pounds. All right, not too bad considering shoulder injury, elbow pain, things like that. This week, which was 3 weeks after my my last heavy day, heavy bench day, I did 315 for 5. Okay, now call it whatever you want, but the only difference in my training was taking a high volume approach and implementing that in my workouts and not lifting heavy all the time. Okay, another thing to take note of when you're looking to get stronger is it's not just about bench press, squat, deadlift. All right, a lot of guys get hung up on those compound movements. Think outside the box a little bit. Use your head. And another thing I've been doing is taking body weight movements, dips, pull-ups, push-ups. Okay, lower body weight movements. You know, which are a little bit different to do because your legs are pretty strong. But as far as upper body goes, dips, pull-ups, push-ups, I'll group those in with a heavy set of 5. So basically, I'll throw a chain around my neck or use a dip belt and use a dumbbell, and I'll do them weighted for 5 to 7 reps. And I'll tell you what, between combining the high volume approach and weighting my body weight movements to 5 to 7 reps, my strength has jumped. My joints feel much better. I'm no longer beating myself up and my shoulders up doing bench press heavy multiple times per month. And when I do go back to that heavy bench day, I'm like chomping at the bit to get back on the bench and put up some heavy weight. So a couple things to take note, right? It's not all about just doing heavy bar movements, weight your body weight movements. Focus on incorporating some sort of high volume approach to your training. It's going to do wonders not only for your strength, but it's going to help you build some muscle mass a little faster as well. And the last thing you need to do, like we talked about earlier in the video, is actually tracking what you're doing. All right, if you're not tracking, you're wasting your time. I don't care what anybody says. Track your movements, track your exercises, track your sets and reps so you know exactly how much effort you're putting into your workouts, what your previous numbers were. Because if you don't know what you did, you're not going to know how much to put on the bar for the next workout. Okay? And then the last tip I'm going to leave you is with this. As long as you're tracking, you know what your numbers are, right? So what I would do is I would refer back to the last workout you did. So for the sake of simplicity, we'll talk about my heavy bench day again. So the last time I did heavy bench, right, I said I did 300 for 4 reps on the bench. So I knew that going into this workout, when I was writing my workout down on my notepad, that I had to at least hit 305 for 4 or hit 300 pounds for 5 reps. So you either want to increase the weight slightly, all right, with the same amount of reps, or you want to keep the same amount of weight and get another rep or 2. Either way, I consider that getting stronger, okay? Either you're doing a little bit more volume or you're using a little bit more weight. You should do one of the two. If you do one of the two, it's a win. If you don't, you write it in your book anyway, and maybe you write down the reason why. Maybe shoulder bothering me today, or maybe didn't eat breakfast, or write down what you think the cause of the issue was. No sleep last night. Write it down so when you refer back to your workout after a couple weeks, you know exactly what may have fueled that crappy set that you did. All right, guys. Getting stronger should not be complicated, but you just have to think outside the box a little bit. Use your brain and throw some high volume work in there too. I promise you, you start throwing, sets of 15, sets of 12 into your training, your strength is going to jump. All right, especially on your heavy bar movements and on your body weight movements. So don't just focus on doing heavy bench press all the time, because obviously, if you're stuck at the same weight for weeks or months, you got to do something else to mix it up, right? You have to do something else that's going to throw a curveball into your training program and get you out of that plateau. And I guarantee you, for most guys, it's a quick fix, and it's increasing the volume and focusing on doing heavy weighted dips, pull-ups, push-ups, and focusing on giving your body a different dynamic when you're working out. That's all I got, guys. Hopefully this tip was useful. I know it's not like some mind-blowing stuff here, but with training and nutrition, it's never mind-blowing. Obviously, it's more about common sense and implementing stuff that actually works. All right, guys. So if you like this video, please like it, share it, comment down below if you have any questions, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more live videos, just because I think they're better, because they're on the fly, they're real. There's like one take. If I mess up, I mess up. But Oh, and last thing, oh, as always, free gift on the right side of the screen. Click the tab at the top on the right. Put your email in. I will send you a free strength training program. Just my way of saying thank you for watching my stuff, liking my videos, subscribing to my channel, and being awesome. That's all I got, guys. 10-minute video today. Kind of short, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next one.